Hey everybody, it's B Diz, the rock star, part of Super Obvious.
And Luna Mist.
And in this video, we're talking about the movie Together.
Yeah.
Let's go.
I'll be right back. Hello, Detective Banks.
Watch a few movies, take a few notes.
So one thing I kind of like about this movie, I kind of call it a claustrophobic cast because the cast is very small.
Mm-hmm.
And as far as the different scenes, locations, it's mainly them at this new house cabin-ish thing that they moved into.
Mm-hmm.
There's not a whole lot of locations, so it's kind of easier.
It's basically this, a school, and the forest with a cave.
So at the very beginning of the movie, the two of them are kind of having like a going away party, so to speak. And this is when you see the most amount of people, because the rest of the movie, it's very minimal other characters besides our main characters, Millie and Tim.
Right.
So Millie does like this proposal to Tim with like a ghost ring, like doesn't even have a ring. And Tim catches on really late.
Yeah, to me, her gesture reminded me of Friends when Phoebe was like, "He's our lobster." Remember that? That's what it made me think of. Like, maybe that's what she was trying to do. Like, that's her lobster. They're supposed to be together forever. They love each other. It was a weird proposal. He didn't catch it.
He catches, like, first off, he's like not even facing her, and it's kind of awkward. Like, everyone's seeing how Tim isn't even like seeing that he's being like, and when he sees her, his reaction is so delayed. It kind of makes the whole proposal or gesture very weird.
Very awkward. But they even kind of hint at it before that he's kind of going through something mentally and emotionally. So I don't think he was all together there anyways. Because she's like talking to her friends and she's like revealing that it's been a while since they've done the dirty, and they just haven't been on the same page for a little while. And then he's like looking at photos of his parents and of him and her when they were younger together, because they've been together, what, I think it's like 10-15 years or something like that. It's been a long time.
And a little bit before her proposal, he had already made the commitment to join this rock band and be on the road.
Right.
So there was that.
Yeah, there was that. But he was also gonna move to be with her in this new place where she got a job as a teacher, like her dream job as some teacher. So, yeah.
And of course, that night when they're in bed, it's kind of awkward.
Yeah.
The whole like you know you're like hesitant to make the commitment, and they try to do the naughty and they can't because my man drank too much.
Well, she's trying to initiate and he's saying he drank too much. I still feel like it was something more emotional going on. It's not just the drink.
Whatever. All right, so they move to this new place, and one of the first weird things that happen is they smell something weird in the house. And Tim, the source of the smell is coming from like a ceiling lamp, and that's kind of like the first real weird part of the movie. Besides, when they were in bed was the first weird part, when they saw like those people on the other side of the bed.
His parents.
That was a jump scare. We jumped.
We both jumped like babies. It was terrifying. This movie was very suspenseful, scary at parts. Mostly suspenseful, like having you hold your breath and like feeling super awkward and like tense 90% of the time.
Those are psychological thrillers.
Yes.
When it's like in your head and it kind of has you like on edge, not sure what's going to happen next.
Because there was a couple parts where I had to like cover my eyes because I was like, oh my god, I don't want to see this.
So besides our two main characters, basically the other main character that we see once in a while is Jamie, who is a different teacher at the school that Millie's at. When they first meet, he seems a little bit overly friendly, in my opinion. And he kind of starts to be a little bit more of the plot. So we're going to get into the main stuff now. So once Tim and Millie are moving into their new place, they go on this walk in the woods where they get kind of lost, and it starts storming. And they both kind of start freaking out a little bit about where they are. And they fall into like this sinkhole underground. And when they're basically stranded, they're really low on water, and Tim starts drinking water from this other like indention that's below them. They eventually fall asleep, and as soon as they wake up, they're starting to legit be attached at the hip. Like their hips are like touching, and it looks like they were super glued together.
They like ripped them apart.
Yeah, they had to
And it
rip
was
each other's legs
physically
apart.
painful.
Yeah. So this is where the weird stuff really starts. And there's other stuff that happens, like when they try to kiss each other, their lips get stuck together. One of the weird parts is when they're sleeping, you hear these weird noises, and Millie turns to look at Tim, and like half of her hair is like in his mouth.
Like down his throat in his mouth.
And they have to like rip her hair out of his mouth, which is weird.
Yep.
We can fast forward to when, so we get to the point now where even more of the weird stuff starts happening. So Tim was supposed to go to like on tour with his buddies to do like the band thing, and when he gets dropped off, he basically misses his bus because something is happening to where he has to be close to Millie.
Yeah, it's like this deep desire, this want, this need to be with her. So he ends up showing up at the school where she's working, and they finally hook up in the bathroom because he's just like, I need you, I want you. And she's basically been through this long ass dry spell, and she's like, all right, let's go. And things happen.
They do the nasty.
And they get a little stuck.
Yeah, so once they're done, they can't separate from each other down there. And there's like a little kid that kind of knows there's some people in the stall, leaves, and brings Jamie there. And basically Millie like puts her hand over Tim's mouth and forces them to separate down there.
Yeah. And then Jamie, he like tries to play it off because he sees like some blood dripping down her leg, and he's like, oh, it must be woman problems or whatever. But you can tell as he's leaving the room, he saw Tim's leg where the stall is, and he like he just knows, like there's something going on. You can tell Jamie knows something. He just knows something's happening. And yeah, it's like super awkward and weird.
Right off the bat, like once they have that night in the cave, almost immediately Tim starts to look bad. Like he looks like he's turning into a zombie, or he's dying, or he's very sick. Millie looks kind of normal at first for a good bit. A little bit further in the movie, they start to really like bump heads, basically like breaking up. And Millie goes to Jamie's house because Jamie just happens to be like in the same neighborhood, like around the corner. He's that little yellow house
on the corner. Yeah, he's within walking distance.
And Millie goes to Jamie, and they both kind of like vent to each other about just stuff in general,
relationship type stuff. And he was talking about how he was with a partner like that once and tried to separate, but even though he loved the freedom, he missed it. He missed his person. He told her the story about this mythology thing where people were born with 2 sets of arms, 2 sets of legs, 2 heads, whatever. They're supposed to share a heart, and like a god was jealous and separated them into 2 separate people. And when you find your person, like that's your other half. That's the person you were supposed to be fused with originally or something.
And when he suggests or offers to show like his like wedding tape that he has with his partner, Millie sees Tim like outside of the window, so she kind of like abruptly leaves.
Yeah, because he was standing out there like a creeper.
Yeah, it was really weird. Really weird. So back at their house is when we start to get a whole bunch of weird stuff that happens. I can't remember what order, if it was the nighttime thing first, or if it was
the nighttime thing, because they decide, like, because they're still fighting, he feels trapped, blah blah blah, because he doesn't drive, so he like accuses her of being like trapped.
Oh yeah, they had that really weird, awkward dinner with Jamie there when
Yeah.
Tim and Millie were just like kind of like hitting each other below the belt.
Yeah, it wasn't very nice.
So they sleep in different bedrooms,
Right.
and during the night they're basically getting like sucked to each other, like something invisible is like dragging them into each other.
Yeah, like Millie is doing all these weird bendy poses and stuff as she's being like forcibly moved forward towards him.
That was some Exorcist shit right there.
It was wild. And they found out through him seeing a doctor earlier in the movie that muscle relaxers could help slow this process of whatever was happening, because it chills the body while the mind is freaking out.
Right.
And so they start like at night. They start fusing like their arms legit fusing together as
Right.
one. And so they grab the muscle relaxers, start like eating them like candy, crushing them, snorting them, like
That was
licking it
wild.
off the floor. And then like it slows down what's happening. Next thing you know, it's morning. Tim's taped to a chair and Millie's sitting on top of him, and she's got a handsaw ready to go at the skin that's still connecting their two arms together. And it's like, oh my god.
So she's pouring a whole bunch of booze down Tim's throat just to get him kind of drunk for this process.
And she starts feeling drunk too because they're connected.
And then Tim's concerned because it's like, yo, you got the saw in your left hand when you're right-handed. As soon as she starts it, it's like, she almost like drops it on him, or like, it's like, so they're basically, their arms are connected, and to disconnect them, she's going to use this handsaw. And like I told you earlier, the skin that's connecting them kind of looks like the skin that's between your thumb and your pointer finger. You start to, what's going on with her, like cutting them apart. Good thing, even though we already watched movies like Saw and stuff, they kept it kind of quick. They didn't overly draw it out.
Yeah. They show her starting, and then all of a sudden they're sitting on opposite sides of the kitchen eating food with their arms all wrapped up. And they're like trying to stay away from each other, but both of them, they can't. They still want, like, feel a need to be with each other. It's so interesting.
So moving forward a little bit, we get to the point where Millie goes to Jamie's house, and she wants Tim to stay right there, which he doesn't. He goes back to the cave that they fell in.
Right, because he's thinking he can fix whatever by going to this cave. She's thinking we need to go to a hospital because we just saw each other's arms off, and her keys are at Jamie, so that's why she's going back to his place.
So when she goes to his house, we don't really see him. She's like walking through the house like, hello, hello. And she goes kind of like towards the back, and she sees this videotape playing that has Jamie's
Wedding
ceremony. There you go,
Yeah.
ceremony, because there's a lot of weird shit that happens in this video. And this goes to how you called it, like you kind of knew that he was kind of already onto something.
Like he was already fused with another person completely.
Because when he caught them basically in the bathroom, he never mentioned it later. Like, hey, I knew that Tim was in that bathroom stall with you. He never said anything.
Nah.
Which is a prediction that you had earlier in the movie.
Yeah. Well, he decides they need to be fused together, Tim and Millie. So to speed up the process, he cuts her arm from like elbow to hand, which is how most people, if they're trying to themselves, it's gonna faster
Unalive themselves.
Yeah, so it's like, what the hell? Like, she freaks out, she starts running home. Tim while this is all happening in Jamie's house, Tim is in the cave meeting a creature who is two people fused that were never supposed to fuse together, because apparently that's the thing. Like, it seems like if you're meant to be together, you're truly supposed to be together, you fuse and you become a person. But if you start fusing and you're not supposed to be together, you're not that person's actual other half, you become a mutated monster like the thing in the cave.
Wow.
Yeah. So he tries to get the hell out of Dodge after seeing that. She's obviously bleeding out and about to unalive. And so he decides to save her by putting his arm on her open wound and fusing with her.
Which was a surprise, because right before that, we thought she bled out outside on the floor, him holding her, and we thought she was not alive anymore, which was a very emotional scene. But that was like the curveball, like he used a fusing thing to bring her back.
Right, and then in that moment, I think it's when he realized he truly can't live without her. He wants to be with her forever. But yeah, after he saves her life, they basically talk and decide together. They're like, all right, let's do this. And they start dancing and taking each other's clothes off and
start doing the nasty.
And fuse together.
They get to enjoy the nasty for about 20 seconds. And then they start connecting to the point where you're like, okay, they're not going to be able to separate anymore. Like their mouths and their whole arms, their torsos, everything just starts gluing together.
Yeah, it's so bizarre the way like it's happening. And of course they don't show the whole thing, just a good chunk of it. Next thing you see her parents coming for a visit, and when they go to the door and ring this bell, they open the door and it's literally a person who looks like Millie and Tim fused together as one person.
Combined.
Yeah. And they're just like, hey. And that's
Yeah,
how they end it.
yeah. So, even though I asked you earlier, I consider this kind of like, so between this and The Substance, which one did you think was better?
This one.
I think I call it mutation horror.
Yeah, you did.
I think that was the term I used.
No, I like this one better because I liked the actual story better, even though it was hard to watch in a lot of places and had me just feeling super icked most of the movie. I still enjoyed this better than The Substance.
I think the one scene when they had that door in between them and their feet were almost like floating above the air, and
The glass door part?
and Millie's head was like smashing into the door like a whole bunch of times.
That was
and
so scary.
I think there was a jump scare in that. We both jumped like little bitches on that one.
Yeah, because he's just chilling on the computer and then all of a sudden, BAM! She's like against the glass and is like,
Yeah. There was at least probably 3 or 4 good jump scares in this movie.
Yeah.
That's when I was talking about. I was like, man, I'm getting older, man. I can only do about 2 jump scares a day. And those are only about like 20 minutes apart. Like,
yeah, it was freaking scary. I did predict kind of what was gonna happen.
Usually do.
And we were talking earlier, and I feel like if they gave away a little less in the trailers, maybe I couldn't predict it as easy. But trailers just give too much shit away, you know?
Yeah, like we said earlier, trailers giving you enough to make you like intrigued and like jonesing to watch it, and not giving away too much to where you feel like, hey, all the good stuff was already in the trailer. It's a really fine line that Hollywood really messes up a lot of the time.
Yeah, that's really it. I say give it a watch. It's a good watch. I'll probably never watch it again just because it made me feel not great, but it was a good watch.
Yeah, it's definitely worth watching once. Yeah, for sure. You don't want to watch it a bunch.
No, unless you're just weird like that.
Unless you're weird and that's your thing. That's cool too. All right, everybody, it's Beat is the Rockstar, part of Super Obvious.
And Luna Mist.
Subscribe to the channel, and we will see you guys in the next video.
Bye.